So now we're going to start the Tyrannosaurus stage. Again, you don't get to fight this if you've used any continues in the game, and you have to go back to the Visitor Center to do it. This is probably the hardest stage in the whole game, for a couple of reasons. First, you have to go through two segments: the outside area and the inside area. The public and the public area and the staff area, and enemies and items and enemies respawn between them. Second, they introduce there's a part where if you enter the wrong door, you can have to go back through the whole level again, which can become really hard. And third, they introduce two new items, one which is decent and one which is a power down, which can be really problematic because it takes away a full continue if you collect it on accident. It's not listed in the manual. It's not encountered anywhere else in the game. So it's really kind of mean to even throw it in there. Then again, if you've gotten this far in this game, you probably aren't going to have too much trouble anyways. But little rocks, you may have noticed me doing it in a few videos, but if you shoot the rocks, if you shoot the rocks, you actually gain a little bit of life from them. It's really, good thing I got that. It's really kind of weird, but whatever works for them. Now we get to actually have a Tyrannosaurus chase up on us. Probably was an Allosaur in the Brachiosaur stage. And you can see he doesn't react much to gunfire very much either. Unlike the Pterodactyl or the Pachycephalosaurus, which was the one in the Triceratops stage, which moves back a fair distance which either abort their attack or move back a fair distance when you stun them. Those guys don't move back very far, so if they get close, they'll just drain your life bar right out because they attack pretty fast. So now we go to the action stage. We can encounter the staff members fleeing from the visitor center. So we get to go in, and yay. And you want to have this. The laser security system is malfunctioning, and that's up on the ceiling. So you'll want to have this available to take down these small laser turrets. Now we'll go through here. Now each of these, see these corrugated steel doors? Every single one of them has a velociraptor behind it. So you've got to be careful. Because if you're not careful, they will come out and they will start doing damage to you pretty fast. You'll have to switch weapons a lot here. A lot of the enemies in the main segment use... I just collected one of the credit tokens. These Jurassic Park icons respawn if you come in and out of that door. They're worth 10,000 points apiece, as I recall. Yep, 10,000 points. And they're not anywhere else in the game. I don't know why. It's weird. But they're free points, so it's fun. Now we go through here. And again, we gotta switch weapons to deal with the Velociraptor coming out of here. As you can see, I've got 7 first aid kits, which amounts effectively to having 40 points of... no, actually not quite 40. It would be about 35. It'd be 33 because I can't use it in the last hit. Occasionally you can get your last hit used when you use a first aid kit before you die, but it's nothing I'd really count on. Now there's two ways to go up here. You can go up past the Velociraptors, or you can go up the other way over here and encounter these small Allosaurs that come out of the walls. And these die with 2 fire grenade hits. Now they drop red credits, which will again steal in. Nah, he didn't drop one. Interesting. This one up here does, as I recall. They drop these red credits, and these take away, a full continue if you collect them, which really sucks. Again, they're not anywhere else in the game, and those enemies are the only ones that actually drop them. These lasers can't be destroyed, you just have to run past them. There's supposed to be a pattern to it, but I just usually rush past them and take the hits. There's more life around here, so we'll go over here. Deal with him. Drop down. Elevators coming up and down. It's a really good thing that, nobody turned the power off in this version of Jurassic Park, unlike, in the movie, where everything was off for most of the movie and was half the problem. You could actually kill these turrets with anything if you can hit them right, but it's really obviously easiest to do with the weapon that fires at a diagonal up 45-degree angle. There you go. And we can go up here, and we can collect one more first aid kit to max out it. You max out at 9 first aid kits, but if you're doing that, you're probably not so good. If you're managing to collect that many, you probably really don't need them anyways. So we will. You probably haven't seen it because of the... Oops. Now I'm down to 5 continues. I used to have 7, but I've got 16 lives, which is more than I'd get in 5 continues anyways, so... not to mention I have to start the level over, so I get 2 free lives, and I'd get at least 1 free life, probably 2 in the driving stage. You can hit these guys with the fire grenade, but it's a little bit tricky. It's just more reliable to just shoot them directly. And I'm actually going to come back in here because it'll let me refill my life bar. So as you can see, when I come back, oh, apparently the medkit does not respawn in this version. Oh well, he does, and he drops life, so that works. Again, if you manage to collect 9 first aid kits in this game, you probably don't need them that badly anyways. One strategy I've seen, as you noticed, I don't have much trouble with the driving stages, but one thing I've had noted to me particularly is that if you are in the driving stage and you die, you won't lose a life, but you'll enter the regular stage with only 1 tick of health. And an effective thing to do then might be to use a first aid kit to top off your health immediately, so that you don't get killed as soon as you enter the stage. So, blow that up. Lasers can be difficult to dodge sometimes. Now, there's a bunch of doors here, and if you enter any of them, they correspond to all the doors at the front. These 3 and these 3. And if you enter any of them again, you immediately go back to the beginning of the stage, and you have to go all the way through the whole thing again. This 4th door, on the other hand, is how you get to the boss, which is decent and interesting. It's been speculated, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. You can't actually damage the Tyrannosaurus yourself. You have to knock these boulders down, these crates down onto him. The Tyrannosaurus's bite does 2 ticks of damage too, so again, making him a difficult boss, and making those first aid kits useful, because if you're at 2 ticks or less, you'll want to use one, because otherwise he can kill you on his next hit. You want to knock these boxes down into him. Now, speaking of, it's been theorized some dinosaurs had 2 nervous centers in order to compensate for poor response time due to their size. The second one was not really a true brain, it was just a reflexive area to deal with general physical reflexes and responses, like the Stegosaurus had one at the base of its tail. But as you can see, you can see right here what happens if you don't have one. It takes a few moments to notice you've been knocked out. So, but you defeat the Tyrannosaurus, and you can see the end. Grant's heroic efforts lead to the re-stabilization of the computer security system. Or computer-controlled security system, my mistake. Yay! So, after several months, the opening of Jurassic Park was in headlines all around the world. This game in particular I liked because it had some amusing credits at the end. Some of the games did have that, but this one in particular, I particularly liked one of the... I'd have to look again. But one of the credits was given to a company named EIEIO, which was absolutely hilarious when I was 7 or 8. Not so much anymore, but, you know, it happens. Jurassic Park, a picture of the Earth as it was millions of years ago. And then after this, it just segs into the credits and it tells you your score. We'll see. We probably won't be able to get through them because I'm running up to the end of my time on this video, so we'll just end after the credits. So, staff. Well, we'll see what happens. I got another 100 seconds about. So, staff. Asoy is the director. So, this is going pretty fast. We'll probably get through it. Chief programmer, Totoyo. It was always just amusing to look at the Japanese names in these and see how many were weird. Konblue, Sako, and Ken-san were your programmers. Programming staff of 3. You don't see that anymore. Artwork was EIEIO and Tasmania. which brought to mind Old MacDonald's Farm and the Tasmanian Devil. Lottie and NG did your sound management. LLG and Susang were your planners. Susang sounds like a sentence. Special thanks to 5 people. And then we cap out with our score, just under 300,000 points. So, there's my Let's Play of Jurassic Park for Game Gear. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any advice, feel free to leave it in the comments. It'll help me make the next ones better. This is Arrow, signing off.